Hello, student. I, Dr. Shafali Jain, Assistant Professor, Tithankar Mahavir University. Student, in this video, we discuss about marginal predictivity theory of distribution. Marginal predictivity theory was given by German economist von Tenner in 1826. In 1826, German economist von Tenner gave this theory. According to this theory, prices of the factors of production depends on its predictability. It means the prices of the factors depend how much predictability they produced. So, in the simple, marginal predictability depends on the predictability of the factors and it determines by the marginal predictability of the factors concerned. In other words, under perfect competition, every factors of prediction get remunerations equal to its marginal predictability. It means every factors gets the rewards equal to its margin productivity, how much he produced. Margin productivity theory of distribution is the most celebrated theory of distribution. It is the new classical theory of distribution and is derived from Ricardo marginal principle. J.R. Clark, Marshall, and Hicks are the main profounders of the theory. Initially, the theory was propounded as an explanation for the determining of wages. Wages means the rewards of for labor. Wages is the factor payment of the labor. But later on, it was generalized as a theory of the factor pricing for all the factors of the production. This theory states that the price of a factor production is governed by its marginal productivity. To support this hypothesis, it analyzes the process of equilibrium pertaining to the employment of input of various factors while an individual forms under perfect competition. As you know about the perfect competition, it means large number of buyers and sellers, homogeneous product, same prices, no transport, no selling cost, and perfect knowledge about the markets and the firms is price taker and industry and price is determined by the market supply and demands. So in a perfectly competition factor market, a firm can buy any numbers of units of factors of productions at the prevailing market price. Now the question is given the price of a factor, how much of each factor will he inflate. According to this theory, an entrepreneur or a firm will employ a factor at a given price till its margin productivity tends to be equal to its price. It thus follows that the reward is price for factor tend to be equal to its margin productivity. The summary of the margin productivity theory may thus be laid down in terms of the following proposition. The marginal productivity of a factor determines its price. In the long run, the price of reward of a factor tend to be equal to its marginal as well as average product. When the rewards of each factors in the economy tend to be equal to its marginal productivity, because how much the factors produce, the factor payments will be equal to the marginal productivity. There is an optimum allocation of resources to different uses. Further, when all factors receive their shares according to their respective marginal productivity, the total product will be exhausted. A concept of productivity. Productivity means the quantity of output, how much quantity is produced of the commodity turned out using factors and factors of friction. Marginal productivity, it refers to the additional units of product generated due to employment of an additional units of a factors of production. There are many assumptions of this theory. First of all, perfect market competition. The perfect market, I have also explained what is the perfect competition. Various proportion tax protection functions, output can be increased and by changing the factor ratio. Output can be increased and different scales can be used. Returns to scales can be used. The visual factors, full employment, constant technology. There is no changes in the constant technology and full employment. Classical theory mostly based on the full employment assumptions. And division factor can be divided. Factors can be substituted. Factor can be substituted. You can use capital in place of one labor and labor in place of the capital. One variable is inputs and other is fixed. It is also works in the diminishing law, in which one variable is inputs and only one variable inputs will be increased and the others is fixed. Others is land and other factor will be fixed. For example, how much wheat can be produced on 5 hectares of land under certain conditions of how much earth digging can be done by 10 levels. Productivity of a factors may be reduced in two sections: physical productivity and revenue productivity. Productivity of a factors is measured in terms of physical units of output, meaning how much commodity can be produced, okay, in the physical form. If a commodity produced by it 1 unit of time. When physical productivity is expressed in terms of money, it is called revenue predictive. When this product is sold out in the market and how much and it turns in the money, it is called revenue productivity. Suppose a product market price is 20 rupees. So 20 rupees is revenue productivity. Again, physical productivity has to consider average physical product and marginal physical product. Average physical product, the average uh, the average physical product of a factor is the total product divided by the number of units the factor employed in the process of the production. To put this symbolic terms as AP is equal to TP upon N. Any AP, any total production on N, any variables factors. Okay. Physical product. The marginal physical product of a factors is the increase in total product resulting from the employment of additional units of that factors. Other factors remaining constant. I have also explained you that it is work in the diminishing law. And I have also explained the diminishing law in my video. You can see there. The physical product or the marginal product of a particular factor of this measured MP, the marginal product, TPN. TPN will total production and minus TPN minus one, yani, use of the one additional unit. Okay. How much a product came. Once the average and margin product are calculated, it is easy to measure the respective revenue productivity of the factors concerned. Here, we measure the quantity of a product in physical terms. For example, we may express in terms of quintals of wheat or a number of chairs produced, but we are not concerned here with the total quantity of wheat or the average yield. We are concerned here with the margin product, which means an additional made of the total output of the commodity by the additional of 1 unit of a factors of production. Suppose 3 hectares of land yield 30 quintals of wheat and 4 hectares, 40 quintals. Okay. The use of the third hectares has added 10 quintals. This is the major physical productive. Suppose 3 hectares of land, 30 quintal, and wheat and 4 hectares, 40 quintal. So third hectare added 10 quintal. 10 is an additional. So it is a major physical product. Total product has been increased by 10 quintals by the employment of the third or the marginal hectares. That is why it is called major product. But here, it is physical product and not product in terms of value. So value of the marginal product, value of the marginal product VMP. This is also called value of marginal physical product. and it's usually refers to as marginal productivity of a factors is obtained by multiply marginal physical product the factor by the price of the output. It means price multiply marginal physical product. Okay, to put it symbolically, uh, so marginal productivity VMPP is equal to MPP, yani marginal physical product multiply price, where MPP stand for the marginal physical product, how much product is produced, with the factors P for the price of output, and the marginal value product means the value of additional product obtained by the employment of another unit of a factors of production. We can get value product by multiplying for the physical product the quantity of the commodity by its price in the market. So, for example, when we say that it is an additional to total product by additional of one more units for factors of production, say one hectares or one workers or a unit of rupees 1000 in capital. When this marginal product is expressed not in physical terms but in terms of value in the market, it is called marginal value product. So, revenue productivity, the marginal revenue of any level of firm's output is the net revenue and by selling another additional units of product. Algebraic, algebraically, it is the additional to total revenue and by selling n numbers of product. In other words, marginal revenue product for factor is a net addition to total revenue made by the employment of an additional unit of the that factors, assuming other factors to be fixed under a given state of technology. Thus, marginal productivity revenue product is obtained by multiply the marginal revenue. So, to put it simply, MRP is equal to FPP multiplied MR. MRP yani indicates marginal revenue product. MPP, I have also discussed with you, stand for marginal physical product, and MR stand for marginal revenue. Thus, there is a conceptual difference between marginal revenue product and value of marginal physical product. In the former, we consider marginal revenue to be multiplied by the MPP, yani marginal physical product, and in latter we take price or multiply it by FPP. Okay. In perfect competition, condition for the product, however, MPP is equal to VPP. This is because under perfect competition, price equal to amount. But if the commodity market has imperfect competition, price or average AR tend to be greater than the marginal revenue. I have also discussed it in the imperfect competition. You can see there, then VMPP will be greater than MRP. Marginal productivity theory of distribution is the reward of the factor equals its marginal product. Marginal product, also known as a marginal physical product, it is an increment made to the total output by implying an additional unit of a factors, keeping all other factors constant. If the increase in the output is multiplied by the prevailing price of the product, the result is the marginal value product of that factors. But it is better to measure marginal product of a factor in terms of its marginal revenue product, which may be defined as the additional made to total revenue resulting from the employment of one more unit of a factors of production, other factors remaining unchanged. So, in the other words, by marginal productivity of a factors, the, the of a factors, um, but it is better measure marginal product of a factors in terms of marginal revenue product, which may be defined as an additional made to total revenue resulting from the employment of one more units of a factor in production. Other factors remaining unchanged. In other words, by marginal productivity of factor of production, we means the additional need to total output by using additional factors, how much total output increase by employment of the marginal units. Can we do it? हाँ ले लो बहुत है। हाँ, अगर हो जाए ना तो मुझे ही बता देना है ना। मेरा भी मन कर से ले जाने का, लेकिन मैं सोच रही थी अपलोड कर जाऊं तो इस चार्जर का उसका पता नहीं ना, लैपटॉप का पता चला चली गई आज तो देखो मेहनत करी है। हाँ। Oh, so if the prevailing wage is if on the other hand the margin productivity is less than the wage, the employers are losing and they will reduce their demand for labor. As a result, the wage rate will come down to level of margin productivity in swing by competition. Wage tend to equal the margin productivity. This appeal also to the other factors of production and their rewards. So thus, it must be noted that in a position of competition equilibrium, the marginal productivity of the factors of production is the same in the all employments. The marginal productivity of the factors of production is measured by the price of the factors of production. The marginal productivities of various factors are proportional to their respective prices for the over the whole field of employment. Therefore, each factors of production tend to be paid in productions to its marginal productivity. Thus, the distribution of national income, the total aggregate output of an economy, is not a scramble as the strikes or lockouts need it appears to be, and it is governed by the definite economic principle versus margin productivity. Now, there is a criticism of margin productivity theory. Most of the economists are of these options. Opinion that through the margin productivity theory is logically sound and perfect. It has many inherent shortcomings, and they have criticized the theory of following grounds. First of all, the basic underlines the theory of is unrealistic. The theory is based on the assumptions of perfect competition, and perfect competition is unrealistic. It is not found in the real world, the product as well as market factor market. Modern economics like Mrs. Robinson and Chamberlain have rightly pointed out that perfect competition is not a very large relative phenomena. In rarely there is an imperfect competition in the market. Further, other assumptions of the theory have also been criticized. They are such as all units of factors are not homogeneous. The theory assumes that all units of a factors, this theory is based on the homogeneous factor, while all units of factors are homogeneous. All factors units can never be aligned, especially different labor units differ in efficiency and skills. Similarly, plots of land differ in fertility and so on. Next, factors are not fully implied. The theory the theory assumes that all factors are fully implied, but as Keynes pointed out, in really there is a likelihood of under-implied rather than full-implied. Just like factors are not perfectly mobile. Next, the theory assumes perfect mobility of factors, but in reality, the theory assumes perfect mobility of factors, but in reality, factors are imperfectly mobile between reasons and occupations. There is no automatic movement of factors in from one place to another. The greater the degree of specialization in an industry, the less is the factor mobility from one industry to another. Next step, all factors are not divisible. The theory assumes the divisibility of factors, but factors like factors, plants, machines, managers are indivisible. In a large factory, the addition of subtractions of one factors unit will have practically no effect on the total productivity. It may be true in domestic production. Thus, the equality between margin productivity and price of a factor cannot be brought about by varying its quantities a little less or more. Next is the theory not applicable in the short term. The theory is applicable only in the long term. when the rewards of a factor services tend to equal its marginal revenue product. But in reality, we are concerned with short-run problems, as said by Professor Keynes. In the long run, we all get these assumptions make the problem of pricing the factor services unrealistic. This is static theory. The multiple activity is applicable only a static economy. As this regards no change in technology, while in the present time it exists changing day by day. Since the modern economies can and yes, there are technological advances from time to time. Theory becomes inapplicable to modern conditions. Next, this theory has been considered as one-sided because it's considered only demand for factors in terms of its marginal revenue credit. But it fails to analyze the condition of supply in factors of market. The factor price may be high when the factor is relatively scarce. Next step, marginal productivity of all factors cannot be measured separately. Um, in this theory, it has been assumed that a marginal physical product of an individual factor can be measured by keeping other factors unchanged. Critics have said that one cannot consider the specific marginal productivity of a factor is in isolation when production is not the result of only one factor. Because no production can be produced only with the use of a one factor. It is the outcome collective efforts of all factors at a time. Therefore, it is difficult to measure the marginal productivity of each factor separately because only one factor is variable. Because how we can find out the marginal productivity of each factor separately? Since variations in output cannot be attributed to a single factor alone, marginal productivity appears to be a make-believe concept. Next, the theory. Next, the theory is based on the law of diminishing returns as applied to the organizations of a business. This means that is a factor like capital with the improved technology has increasing returns and it also enhances the productivity of other factors like labor. This theory misses these vital points of practical considerations. Next, base determination theory. This theory has been criticized by Keynes. Keynes, who is considered father of the macroeconomics, and he is this opinion that theory is basically explained for these determinations and is usually explained for pricing the factors of production. But other factors like rent and capital have their distinctive factors like rent and capital have their distinctive characteristics, so their rewards are also fixed distinctly. Gain the entrepreneur and profits, which is a residual income, which can be negative as well. Then is it not ridiculous to lack of negative marginal product of an introduce? Explain loss which is income and the theory cannot be applied in the personal distributions. Theory only explains functional distribution. It does not deal to explain anything of personal distribution of income and inequality of earnings. Next and last, the theory lacks normative aspect of that dealing. The theory contains only the positive aspect. Positive aspect, what is, what was, what will. And it neglects of the analysis. It does not consider anything or it does not have a ethical justification or social norms in determining rewards factor. It is also lacks of normatives. What should be, what ought to be. It neglects its strength. Hope you well understood this theory. Now, thank you. Thank you.